All right, what is up, everyone? And today, I just wanted to talk about what it's like working retail and just the stuff that you have to deal with in retail. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this that relate to me and know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those of you who haven't worked retail, or maybe you're a kid that's gonna get his first job or something like that, like I'm just gonna talk about this so that you know what's ahead of you basically. So yeah. All right, so the main thing I'm going to talk about here is going to be the customers. Now, I'm sure everyone out there knows there's going to be toxic customers, but it kind of just depends on where you work. And I worked at a cell phone store for 2 years, so I mean, first of all, I didn't expect the customers to be as bad as they were. I mean, now I'm not going to sit here and say every customer is bad because we did have those good customers that would come in and give us a gift card or something like that. I still remember those people that did that, but no, I mean, I feel like 80% of the time, right, it's just going to be annoying people. And I'm not even, I don't know, it sounds like I'm exaggerating a little bit. Maybe I am because our brains tend to think about the negative more than the positive. So maybe I am just kind of blowing it out of proportion just a little bit. But I mean, I've had customers that are so bad, it just sticks in your mind. You know what I mean? You think about it and it still makes you mad, and you're just like, how can people be like this? You know what I'm saying? So the first type of customers I'm going to talk about is the passive aggressive ones, right? And this is I swear, has to be 70% of people, if not more than that. Um, they come in and they look down on you. You can just tell the way they speak to you. They don't like you say, "Hey, how you doing today?" They don't acknowledge you. They're just like, "Hey, I've I have this problem. I need you to fix it." That's it. And I'm like, dude, I'm not just a robot sitting here to serve you. You know what I mean? I've had right now I work at an electronics store, and we're supposed to go up to people and just ask if they need any help with anything or something like that. You know what I mean? And I went up to this lady and asked her if she needs help. She completely ignores me, and I'm like, all right. So I walk around the store, just trying to find someone else, right? And then she comes up and she's like, hey, hey, hey. And I'm like, what? And I turn around and it's that same woman, and now she needs my help. So she's like, oh, uh, where can I find this computer mouse at? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, lady, I asked you if you needed help. You could have just said no thanks, or not right now. It's, anything, right? Could have just acknowledged oh, thank you very much. No, I don't need help right now. But no, you choose to ignore me and then later on seek me out to ask me for help. Why should I help you now? You know what I'm saying? But I just put on customer service attitude and just helped her out. And it's not like she was mean or anything. She wasn't really I don't know. It's weird because she would ignore the input. I'd be talking to her, explaining hey, this mouse is good, right? And she just ignores me and just talks to her kid. And I'm like, why did you even call me over to help then if you're just gonna uh if you're not even gonna listen to me? But anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of customers I could talk about. I'd probably be here all day talking about all the different types of customers, but yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see that, just let me know. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I'm forgetting right now that is going to come back to me later on, so that's another thing. So I decided to take off my glasses if anyone notices that and thinks that's weird. Yeah, it's because of the glare. So I do want to move on to the next major point that will make or break your job, and that's going to be the management. The management is, I mean, it's the main thing, right? It's the actual it's the actual main deciding factor in whether you're going to enjoy your job or not, because ultimately there's going to be a lot of good customers, right? And there's going to be a lot of good coworkers also. And I mean, there could be bad employees that are at the same level as you, but most of the time, in my experience, the other employees have been really good, right? They've just been really cool. So, and the main problem is going to be management. And there's so many managers that they're narcissistic and they just have this mentality of, yeah, I'm going to exercise my power. I have no control over my life, so I'm just going to take control of your life. That's essentially what it is. It's like, hey, I have influence over this aspect in this person's life, right? And I can just, you know, there's people that just really get off on the fact that they can control what someone else can do, is basically what I'm trying to say. And I mean, you'll notice just so many narcissists end up being managers, and like I can see it from a mile away, like, right? Like as soon as I talk to one, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a that's a narcissist right there. You can just tell a lot of them are very fake, like just fake happiness all the time. And I had like I had one manager, my manager at the cell phone store. He would just change himself for everyone, right? And he would tell me to do the same. He would be like, okay, so if someone comes in, right, and they're wearing like a football shirt, or maybe they're wearing, I don't know, Iron Maiden shirt, and right, so he might not care about Iron Maiden at all. He's like, yeah, I've never even listened to this band, like whatever. But he doesn't say it to the customer. He's like, oh man, that's like my favorite band of all time. Or with football, you're gonna be like, yeah, the Bengals, my favorite team of all time, something like that. When you don't even care about it. I mean, that's what my manager did. And he would tell me to do that. He'd be like, just pretend like that's the best thing in the world. He told me, I don't care about football, but in those 15 minutes I'm speaking to the customer, football's my favorite thing. And I'm just like, isn't that just fake? I mean, I don't know, like to have to change yourself that much. Like, I understand it's sales and it's like that's kind of the game that you play, right? Like, you're just trying to extract a sale out of the customer. But I mean, at what point does it become just kind of just, it doesn't feel right? You know what I mean? Like, it just never felt right to do any of that. And lying to the customers. They wanted me to lie to the customers and tell them that we didn't have a certain phone because they're not buying accessories, right? Like, they'd have to buy accessories for us to acknowledge that we had the phone, or else we'll just lie to them and be like, yep, we don't have it back there. It's just ridiculous. Like, aren't you losing money at that point? I don't understand it. I kind of strayed from the main point, which was management, but ultimately, corporate is going to be higher than management, and corporate, honestly, is, I mean, it's worse because they're actually, this is where the managers are getting like the whole, like the mentality about doing everything that they do. This is why managers do the things they do, right? Because corporate tells them to, and they dangle their job in front of their face, like, oh, one screw up and you're fired, and someone else is going to come in, and like they do that, right? I mean, managers, district managers, right? At that company that I was at before, district managers were just coming and going just so fast. Like I was there for 2 years, and we went through like three district managers. And the first district manager we had was really cool, right? He understood sales, he understood our jobs because he came from where we came from. And then they decided that he was too nice or something like that, and the numbers were slipping. Oh no, the numbers. We're $1 billion company, but we have to have those numbers up. We have to keep we have to keep building up. It's just, it's ridiculous. But yeah, no. So basically, the numbers were slipping, and they just decided to demote him. They demoted him to like a normal manager in a store, and they thought he was gonna stay, which is insane to me. They were all like surprised when he put in his 2 week notice. It's like, yeah, you just like, the man has a family, right? He had like 3 kids, and he's like, he was like 45 or something, and like you're just gonna demote him to the salary of a normal manager? Like, that's not even that much. He just went from being paid a lot. Like, I think my manager said he was being paid 6 figures. Now I don't know. I mean, it, whatever, right? No one really knows. But I mean, he was making some pretty good money, and he had just bought a house too. And then he was just demoted, and they thought he was gonna stay. It's insane. But also, they fired a manager of a store just so that they could put him down to that position. So it's like, you just fired someone for absolutely no reason because he's going to quit anyway. So it's just, I don't know. The practices of corporate and just big companies, like, I don't know. It has to be studied. Well, I'm sure it has been. You know, of course, there's psychopaths at the head of many companies. I mean, come on, right? Like, we all know that most of these people are narcissists and psychopaths, right? I mean, you have to in order to get that far, right, to get that much money and to be in that position, most of the time you just have to step over people, you just have to step on people and do anything in your power to get money, and that's what they do. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much any big corporation that you work for is probably going to have something like that. And it really does grate on you because it's like, do I really want to be working for this billion-dollar company that doesn't care about me, doesn't care about anyone else? All they care about is just getting another zero on the number in their bank account, right? Like that's all they care about. That's all these CEOs care about. They have millions or sometimes billions, but all they care about is just getting more. Anyway, yeah, I kind of devolved into a tangent there about companies, but I'm sure you all understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, I mean, this video has gone on for quite a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end it. What are your guys' experiences with retail and just working for a big corporation? I like to know. And yeah, I mean, this is probably relatable to a lot of people. So yeah.